Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This is Primetime Sports, and this is the first episode. I'm Aaron.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Eddie. And we're going to start off the inauguration of this Primetime Sports podcast here with a little bit of news drop. I'm sure all you guys already heard about it. We're going to call it Ace Drops. Let me explain to you how this is going to work. Ace, why do we get the name Ace from? I'll tell you right now. Ace, Aaron, Chris, Eddie, got to stay cool with it right now. And you guys, I know everyone's heard the news already. We got two diehard New York Mets fans sitting right over here. Look at the Lindor jersey.
Yup.
Juan Soto bombshell. All the news. It's about time. All said and done. Let's recap a little bit about the news here. Superstar outfielder Juan Soto and the New York Mets agreed to a 15 years, $765 million contract here, making him the highest paid player in MLB history on a yearly average here. It has escalators that can reach above $800 million. The deal includes a $75 million signing bonus as well. And on top of that, Steve Cohen's playing a little bit of chess here, not just checkers. If Soto, at the age of 31, does want to re-enter free agency, it's going to cost a little bit more money for the Mets to keep him. The Mets have an opportunity to override his opt-out by adding an additional $4 million per season to the final 10 years, of his contract. That would give Soto $55 million per year, and for his final decade in Queens, and raise the grand total of his enormous deal to $805 million. Absolutely nuts what Steve Cohen is doing here. He's living up to his word, let me tell you. The Mets also now, if anyone's betting out there, the Mets are now top 3 in the world for World Series odds. I mean, 5 wins away last year, I'm pretty sure. Now you add a superstar like this. Come on now, place your bets, folks. I don't condone it, but this is a smart bet right here, I'll tell you that. We have this is the biggest Mets fan we're going to see here. Chris, I want to ask you right now, send it over to you. I need your full-on reaction, man. We saw that jet pass and bomb. Tell me. You need to really hear the reaction.
Well, first off, before we talk about Juan Soto, I am so great to be here with you guys on this great Monday night talking about baseball and all this other stuff. Eddie, I'm glad to be next to you as well.
Oh, let's go, man.
Loyal Met fan as well.
Oh.
What could I say, man? Juan Soto to the Mets. I am so freaking happy. I knew from the beginning, at the end of this year, that Steve Cohen was going to prove his promise, that he was going to help this team win, and this shows it right here that he is true to his promise. He just spent $765 million on one of the best players in baseball. And listen, the team needed a player like this, because think about it. Last year, this team was 0-5. They had no chance. Everyone doubted them. And then they went on that hell of a run. And freaking, think about it. They were 2 games away from beating the Los Angeles Dodgers to go to the World Series for the first time since 2015. And at the beginning of the year, nobody had hope for this team. I even know for sure that me and Eddie, both Met fans, we had no expectations for this team this year. I thought that they were going to be horrible. But look, I love the move with Juan Soto, and I really love all the Yankee fans out there who really thought that they were going to outbid Steve Cohen. Listen, Cohen reminds me of a former owner. His name was George Steinbrenner. He is the new George Steinbrenner, and he just outbid all of you. And I know that the Yankees offered them a 16-year deal worth $760, and people are probably thinking, why didn't he take it? Well, I don't know if you guys also heard from John Heyman. John Heyman recently announced that Soto allegedly was upset early in the year by an overzealous Yankee security guard who disallowed a family member. It was either, and I think it was his family member, it was either his mother or his father, and they also had problems with his chef and his driver from entering certain areas in Yankee Stadium. And if I'm Juan Soto, and if I'm like one of the best players on the team, and if I see my family or one of my workers being disrespected hardly, I would take that into a huge offense. And I also feel like that, in my opinion, that the reason why Soto left is because he wanted to be the face of his own team. He didn't want to be behind Aaron Judge anymore. And I also think that Aaron Judge's performance in the postseason was kind of a big take, because guarantee, I am not talking smack about Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is a great player. The regular season, he did a great job. He hit like over 50 home runs. Remarkable job. But in the postseason, his numbers just didn't stick to it. So I kind of see why. But to end it all off, I am super hyped for this season. But I hope you guys know, Steve Cohen ain't done. He's going to keep going, bro. Like Alonzo, I really hope we sign you back. I really hope we get you back. But now there's also rumors that they're after Alex Bregman and Christian Walker, like I told you, and also Corbin Burns. He's not done, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to keep going until it's over. And do you think he cares about how much money he spends? Come on now. He told New York, I came here to win. And ladies and gentlemen, he is proving us now that he is true to his word and that he really wants the Mets to win the World Series.
Well, my question for you, Eddie, because you also a Mets fan.
Yeah.
What does this mean for them, specifically going into – because I know I watched the postseason this year for MLB. They went through the trenches. And I'm like, I wasn't used to that because, like, I'm not really a baseball person.
Correct, yeah.
But I'm like, yo, they was going through the mud. What does this mean for them going into, obviously, the regular season, but going next year into the postseason?
I mean, listen, you got a guy, and you have another bat that could turn around the game in an instant, right? Like, we saw Game 4 against Philly, right? You have Lindor, MVP-type season if Shohei Ohtani doesn't exist. Swinging the bat changes the whole dynamic of a game, and you advance, to the NLCS. This is the same thing you get. You get an added bat. The way I look at it, Aaron, is this way. The Yankees were 3 games away from winning a World Series with Juan Soto on the team, with Aaron Judge on the team. A really good baseball team. And then you had a guy. The Mets were how many games away from winning World Series? Technically,
They were
6. Technically, right?
Yeah, because
technically 6. Yeah,
they lost 4 games to 2
4
to
to
the
2.
Los
Okay,
Angeles Dodgers.
exactly. And now you add Juan Soto to being 3 wins less away. It's in 15 years. This isn't a small term investment. This is a large investment, and to top it off, I'm going to bridge off of what you said about Steve Cohen. He bought the team in 2020. First thing this guy said was, "Hey, listen, I'm going to give myself a 5-year window to win World Series." This is the 5th year going into his tenure. He took him 1 year to bring in Lindor. It's his 5th year now. He's delivering on his promise. He's standing on his word. The money's not a problem for him, and New York baseball's back. It's booming, and let me tell you something. The Mets are going to be a force to reckon with, bearing any injuries, but they're a force to be reckoned with for sure.
And don't forget also, not only was it just Francisco Lindor, Alonso, who really didn't have a great regular season.
Yeah, I can't forget.
Pete Alonso was the main reason why we made it this far because, listen, if he doesn't hit that home run against Milwaukee in Game 3, the New York Mets get sent home in the wild card in 3 games. And who could also forget that against the Philadelphia Phillies, a new star has risen into the cage in New York. His name is Mark Vientos. This kid put on a show in the Phillies game. In the Phillies series. This kid was unbelievable. In Game 2, he hit those 2 home runs, including that one at the top of the 9th, which sent the game to the bottom. Now, granted, we did get walked up, but listen, he showed fight, and he really proved to the Mets this year that he should have been the one on the opening day roster and not Brett Beatty. Now, don't get me wrong, Brett Beatty's a hell of a player, but his talent has just not shown in the MLB. But listen, Mark Vientos, I really think that this year, along with Lindor and Soto, I really think he's going to have a breakout year, and he's going to be a key part to this team on their potential path to the World Series.
So for me, my next question is, because I know we just highlighted all the Mets talk, right? What does this mean for the Yankees now?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to dive into this a little bit because one of the things I heard Jeff Passan go on ESPN, Scott Van Pelt's show last night, and talk about why, because like I mentioned, the Yankees had an offer very, very similar to the Mets. And it's like, why would you not want to stay put? A lot of it had to do with the future of each team, right? And now I'm on MLB.com. They're ranked into the farm systems. With the Mets ranked 13th, but in the top 15 since Cohen's tenure, basically, with 4 top 100 prospects we're looking at. And the Yankees are a couple spots down, but only have 1 top 100 prospect, right? So in regards to the Yankees now, listen, Steinbrenner, we've seen Steinbrenner wants to offer, right? He's not going to stay put. He's going to offer what he's going to offer to his big name free agents. So we have to see how the rest of this winter works out for them. They're in the hunt for a guy like Christian Walker to take over for Rizzo. They're going to need a guy to replace Soto unless Dominguez becomes something big for them. We don't know yet. But if they really can't spend any money for these guys, they don't have a farm system to back them up. So I'm not ready to count the Yankees out. You never can count them out because they're the most successful franchise in U.S. sports history. I hate to even say that, but 27 rings will speak for itself. But if they can't get any big names to replace a guy like Rizzo or even Torres who's going to be out or Soto, and you got to rely on your prospects, you better hope your developmental team is good enough to develop these guys because I think the Yankees, they might be in for a little bit of a bumpy road here, but like I said, I'm not going to count them out just yet.
I totally agree with everything that you just said, Eddie. And in my opinion, this was a huge blow for the Yankees, especially with everything that they gave up to send to San Diego for Juan Soto. Like, they gave up Michael King, Higashioka, and a couple of prospects. Like, I'll give props to the Yankees. They went out saying, like, listen, we know that this is only 1 year, but we're going to try to do the best that we can. And it actually worked out for them. They made it to the World Series. Unfortunately, they didn't accomplish the goal. But, hey, they got there. But you got to look at all these moves that the Mets did for the future. Like, last year, they had Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer, 2 Hall of Fame pitchers on the team. They traded them away because Cohen knew that going into 2024, he knew that they weren't going to be good. He literally even said 2024 is the rebuild year. 2025, we're coming back. And look what he did. He traded Max Scherzer for Texas for Luis Angel Acuna, Ronald Acuna's brother. And even though he only played so little few games in the regular season, this kid was freaking doing good. I know you've seen some of his games. He may be tiny, but bro, he's fast like his brother. He probably doesn't have as much power as his brother, but he can show that like he can hit the long ball. And then we traded Justin Verlander back to Houston, and we got back Drew Gilbert, who's one of our best prospects. And hell, I'm pretty sure if you look at their farm system, he's projected that he might be even in the MLB this year potentially. We don't know. We have to see. But think about what Cohen's done. Cohen said that he's looking towards the future, and all these moves that he made for these prospects are for the move. And think about it. They had the help for the future if you were going to try Juan Soto, because this kid's 26 years old, and he's one of the best players in baseball. He's already won a World Series. He knows how it feels to be a champion, but now he wants it more. And I feel like, in my opinion, that he was right. The Mets have a better future because they have a deeper farm system, and right now they look like more right now than the Yankees that they're in it to win it, because look at all the other moves that they made. They signed Clay Holmes, which I think is very huge. I know that they want him to start, but that's okay. You see how he does. If he doesn't do good starting, then you know what he does? He becomes the setup man for Edwin Diaz. Think about that. You could potentially have Clay Holmes and Edwin Diaz as the 1-2 punch in the bullpen. Now, that to me is crazy. And if Clay Holmes can stay healthy, forget about it. And then look, you got Frankie Montas, who they just signed on a 2-year deal and also a 1-year opt-out. But listen, that's the David Stearns way. Look at Luis Severino. He signed a 1-year deal. He had a fantastic year, and now he just got the highest paid contract in Oakland Athletics history.
Settle down over there, Mets fan. Jeez Louise.
Listen.
He's doing his Frank Fleming impression.
No, listen. But look, think about it. If he didn't play for the Mets and he didn't have a good year, he probably wouldn't have got this big of a contract. He probably would have got another 1-year deal. But look, I get it. It's Oakland. Oakland has nothing to play for. They're absolutely horrible. They're literally playing in Sacramento this year until their stadium in Vegas is ready. But whatever. And freaking, you got dudes like Sean Manaea, 1-year deal. At the beginning of the year, he kind of had a rough start, and then he turned it up. And now he's one of the big-name free agent pitchers out there. And he even said he doesn't want to leave. He wants to be a Met. So if I'm Steve Cohen and David Stearns right now, I would be calling Sean Manaea right now and saying, listen, I know you're happy about Juan Soto, but do you want to come back? And you already know he's going to say yes because he said it 1,000 times. He wants to be a Met. But, yeah, this move, them losing Soto, the Yankees, it was just a very hard – it's a real hurt. And friggin' and like Eddie said, you can't count them out because they're the Yankees. They're the best team. They're the best franchise in baseball and in sports history. But listen.
I don't mean to interject, but I like this conversation about baseball. I love that energy. I love that energy, Chris.
Yo, guys, I want to talk, please. Yo.
Bro, talking about luck and talk about being one of the best teams, bro, in sports in general. 1917 win, Chiefs beat the Chargers, bro. Another lucky win, bro. Another one, Eddie. Another one, Chris. We was on FaceTime last night just casually watching the game. I'm like, ain't no way they about to do it again.
And you know me, Aaron. I love football. But, bro, that game last night, at the beginning of the first half, that shit was so boring. I turned it off, and I was only looking at my laptop, looking at Juan Soto.
Bro,
Bro, it was 13-0, and the offenses were not looking good. And
what did I tell you last week? I said it was gonna be defensive slugfest. I told you that was defensive slugfest.
And then listen, bro, the luck strikes again.
Yup.
Freaking Michael Wright, the new kicker, who's filling out for Harrison Butker right now. He kicks I don't remember how much of a field goal. I think it was 30 something. I don't remember.
It was a chip shot.
It was a chip shot.
Yeah.
And this is for the 9th straight division title. And freaking, not only did he freaking doinked it off the post and it went in. I don't know what else to say about the Kansas City Chiefs this year. They are so, their luck just keeps going and going. You have this week where the guy doinks the field goal in, and then last week, you have the dumbass on the fucking Raiders, the rookie center, who wasn't even paying attention, and he freaking snapped the ball early, and that led to the fumble, which led to them losing the game. Because think about it. That fumble doesn't happen, the Raiders kick the field goal, and Kansas City is freaking...
Or they block it again like they did in Denver.
Yeah, and
also,
then
stop slandering my rookie center, Jackson Powers Johnson. That's my guy.
Listen, I'm sorry, bro.
Don't diss my guy like that.
I did not know he was your guy. Sorry. Sorry, my fault.
My question to you, Eddie, are the Chiefs Super Bowl ready yet? What do you think, bro?
Listen, I think the Chiefs, actually, it's going to sound crazy. I do think the Chiefs have a glaring weakness.
Okay.
Despite what the record says, it's their tackles. And I know we highlight a little bit the Chiefs play the Steelers. They got to play a really tough front seven, tough edge rushers, the best in the business.
December 25th,
Right.
That's going to be
Day,
a crazy
Netflix.
game. T.J. Watt against the 2-time defending Super Bowl champions. And it's not even in Arrowhead. It's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Going back, though, because I'm looking at the Chiefs. I was watching a little bit last night, and
Okay.
Jawan Taylor's a guy they gave a lot of money to. He's had a bunch of pre-snap penalties, discipline penalties. I don't know if he doesn't trust his craft to beat speed edge rushers to the edge and solidify the edge. I don't know, but a lot of pre-snap penalties for him. And the other side with Wanya Morris, and they're rotating tackles in and out. And I think that's a glaring weakness. Do I think it affects what Kansas City can do? No, because you have one of the best game planners, Andy Reid. You have the best quarterback in Mahomes, obviously. I Super Bowl ready. Again, despite the glaring weakness, this team will always be Super Bowl ready as long as 15's throwing the ball for them. I can't count them out. Like we've seen Brady, who's had slow seasons, slow starts. The Patriots may have not been good on paper. You couldn't count them out, regardless of the fact. So Super Bowl ready, they're always gonna be Super Bowl ready as long as 15's chucking rock for them, 100%.
I totally 100% agree with you with everything you said. And giving another explanation about Tom Brady, look at his first year in Tampa Bay. At the beginning of the year, they weren't very good, and then they went on a little run. They finished 9-8, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl. But yeah, when you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, you are always ready for anything, whether if it's a regular season game, a playoff game, or hell, even the Super Bowl. When you have him and you got Andy Reid on the sideline, you're prepared for anything. And I do agree with you. Their tackles, that is one of their key weaknesses. And I feel like that weakness will kind of show itself on Christmas Day when they have to go up against one of the best defensive players in the league right now in T.J. Watt. And don't get me wrong, Pittsburgh defense ain't no joke. They're a damn good football team on the defensive side.
On top of that, real quick, I saw a stat last night watching the Chiefs game at halftime. Mahomes, when he had the ball, when he had to get rid of the ball quicker, he was more efficient.
Yeah, when he was under pressure.
When he was under pressure, he was more efficient. That's another thing I'm looking at. I still think it's a weakness, their tackles, for sure. Because I think when he had all the time in the world, he was about 4 for 10 for 40 yards. And I think that goes how Mahomes plays. He's a guy that can make nothing out of something. Something out of nothing, excuse me. I got that wrong. And I think he's trying to play hero ball a little bit with it, but that's why I'm like, listen, are they Super Bowl ready? Sure. Even with the weaknesses, sure, absolutely.
Yeah. But the thing about them, the Chiefs, they have 4 more games left as well as the rest of the league. They have the Browns, the Texans, Steelers, and Denver. How you feeling, Chris?
Listen, wait, can you say the team names again?
They have the Browns, the Texans, the Steelers, and then Denver.
I'm not even gonna lie. I could see him losing one.
Yeah.
I could kind of see him going to Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh potentially taking them out on defense.
Okay.
But the only way that Pittsburgh, is gonna win this game is not just on the defensive side. Their offense is gonna have to show up because Kansas City's defense, even though it has like its good days and its bad days, their defense is really good. Their defense is really good because you can't forget about Chris Jones on that front seven. You got George Karlaftis. You got Trent McDuffie. You got Nick Bolton. Like, Andy Reid just doesn't know freaking offense. He knows defense too, and their defensive coordinator is damn good as well. But in my opinion, in those last 4 games, I see them going 3-1 and losing to the Steelers.
How about you, Eddie? What do you think their record's going to be with those last 4 games?
I word for word what Chris said, 3-1, lost to the Steelers, but every single game is going to be close for the same reason that I stated with the glaring weaknesses, because you look at each of these teams, each have an elite pass rusher this year.
And think about it, Cleveland too. They got to worry about Myles
Well,
Garrett.
right. So you got Miles, you got TJ, you got Highsmith, even backups behind Pittsburgh.
Even on for the Texans, they got
Danielle Hunter.
Danielle Hunter.
Will,
He's
yeah.
damn
is
good.
Will out for the season, Anderson? Is he? I don't remember. His
I don't
name.
think so. I think he's just on the IR or
I don't-
something. I'm not quite sure.
And then shout out Nick Benito. I don't know if you guys are keeping up with it in Denver. He's got, I
Okay.
think he's 3rd in the league in sacks,
Wow.
11.5 sacks. Shout out Boomer
Is it-
Sooner.
I was gonna say, isn't he the one that got the pick 6 against
Yes,
the
he's having a
Browns?
stellar
Okay,
season
okay.
right now. He even has better stats than TJ right now. No one's ever spoken about it besides
Wait, he has better stats than TJ?
collectively, besides like forced fumbles and fumble recoveries.
Okay.
Yo,
TJ's
that's crazy.
Specialty. He's having a year, so it's going to be close games. But again, 15's there. I can see Pittsburgh, put Pittsburgh's offense, like I said, it's complimentary this year finally.
Yeah.
So that's a game where I can see them stealing from Kansas City.
But
Yes,
look, if they lose
yeah.
to Cleveland and Jameis Winston, then
Yeah.
that's a problem.
I'm not going to lie. I hope they do lose to Jameis Winston. I want to see a quick dub with Winston one more
What do you think
time.
his reaction going to be after the game?
Yo.
Oh, he's probably gonna
That's
go
a
down.
match
Hold on,
in
let me get my
itself,
preacher.
dude. Get it ready.
Man, oh man, when I went down there right there in Kansas City, didn't expect, they didn't understand when I came through. I rolled through like a tide, boy, stop playing with me. Because, he taps into that Alabama and that soul, man. He
Oh
from the
my
church.
God, look at
You know what I mean?
This
I
guy.
put on my preacher.
I know you got that in you.
Always got that in
Damn,
me,
he's got
man.
that Jameis Winston in him.
Hey, man. Let me stop.
Settle down.
Settle down, right? Settle
Settle
down.
down.
But the next game I want to get into is y'all teams. the
Jesus
Jets
fucking Christ.
versus the damn Dolphins, bruh.
Of course, they gotta make me fucking talk about this.
Yeah, bro.
Don't make me
Chris. Chris, roll this game in, man. Because you know why I'm going Chris and rolling in? Because Chris had no expectations at all. So he's kind of happy they didn't lose by that much.
Listen, I told you,
Yes.
and I told you, I had no expectations at all that the New York Jets were going to win this game. He originally wanted to bet with me, and I said I would root for the Dolphins
Yeah, I forgot about
because the Jets, they're just bad. But can I be quite honest? I'm actually very shocked at the way that the offense looked yesterday. Aaron Rodgers, for the first time, I believe, in 3 years, threw for over 300 passing yards.
35 games in. Yep, 35 games since 300 yards.
Which is freaking crazy to me, but freaking listen. And my boy over here, Eddie, posted a video the other day talking about how he wanted to give a shout out to me about it being an embarrassing loss. It was, in my opinion,
Embarrassing win, actually.
I was gonna say it was more of an embarrassing win for the Dolphins because it took you to overtime to beat this Jets. Before then, Aaron Rodgers and the whole entire defense looked freaking horrible. Like, they didn't know what they were doing. But then yesterday, Aaron Rodgers throwing dimes to Devontae Adams, throwing dimes to Garrett Wilson, and without their star running back Breece Hall, their 2 rookie running backs, Braylon Allen and I can't remember his freaking first name, but I know his last name's Davis. But
Isaiah Davis, yep, South Dakota State guy.
Yeah, Isaiah Davis. There we go. He didn't have a bad game either. He even caught, I believe in back-to-back weeks, he caught receiving touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers. But listen, I'm not shocked that the Jets blew the game because, and all I'm going to say is this to the Dolphins fans out there, including to you, that punt return that they had towards the end of the fourth quarter, think about it. If that dude doesn't take off for 48 yards, the Dolphins potentially lose the game. But listen, would I say it was embarrassing for the Jets? Absolutely not, because I would have been even more mad if they won, because then it hurts their draft pick. Because I think as of right now, they have the 7th overall pick. If they lose, they potentially drop. But listen, I'm as glad that their defense. I'm as glad that their offense didn't look like shit like it's done the last few weeks. I'm actually very proud of how they look. But yeah, if you're a Miami fan right now and you go into work the next day and say, "Oh, we beat the Jets 32-26," all I can say is, "What the fuck is wrong with your defense?"
And that's why I wore a normal flannel to work today, not any Dolphins gear. I wasn't like I have a Marino jersey on because brother, this is the last. Well, shout out my boy Tua, but like this is like
the last good quarterback that you got.
Relax.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. You want to shout out to it because remember what I said, man. He
One
one
hit
hit away, baby.
That's why you're wearing a retired man's jersey right now. Knock it off.
A champion.
That's why you're wearing a retired man's jersey.
Champion.
Knock it off. He didn't have a jersey on. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. No, I don't. Don't play with me. Don't play with Tua. Talk to anybody else but him.
But yeah, man. How do you feel, Eddie, on that win, man?
Yeah, let me start with this. Miami's defense, I don't know what the game plan was other than, it looks like the Jets inefficiently cannot throw the ball downfield. It's been evident throughout the entire year, even with Rodgers and all the weapons around him. And Miami still allowed him, they gave him shallow crossers and ins and outs all over the field. Very soft coverage for whatever reason, and I don't know why. Which, again, inefficiently, Rodgers, they can't throw the ball, down the field this year. That's fine, but go up and rally to tackle. Miami missed a boatload of tackles again, like they did in Green Bay. It was poor all through and through. And the Jets, have monumental drives through and through, game momentum. As for the offense, it's been, this is what McDaniel's third year, and he still has yet to learn that when your team figures out your system by playing two high safeties the entire time, you have to go dink and dunk. It's a dink and dunk offense now. I'm sorry, fantasy owners of Tyreek and Wild. There's no more explosive plays anymore. This is why H-Chan is like third in the team in receptions. And Jonu's now heavily involved. Like, this is what the offense is become now because the Jets and every other team have figured out to play two high safeties. And McDaniel still barely ran the ball. I think H-Chan had 6 carries in the first drive, finished the game with 10. They just don't run the ball to maybe get those safeties up. And it gets very boring and it just doesn't hold up. So, I'll preach this every episode we do. Division games, despite our record, they'll always be close. I'm not making the excuse though. The Dolphins just didn't look good at all until it was needed. But shout out, I said in the video last night, shout out the stars in overtime. Tua, Waddle, and Tyreek, and Jonu for literally that drive is all his. So
Jonu's been on like a little bit of a streak.
This is the first time Tua's really had a tight end to throw to with this yak ability too. I mean, he had Gesicki, but Gesicki was a jump ball guy, and that was it. That guy couldn't run after the catch. So it's finally something to get implemented.
And also to bring up about the Jets, like with this trade with Devontae Adams, they were expecting like him to Garrett Wilson to have great games, and this was like one of their best games with the two of them together. Garrett Wilson had 7 receptions for 114 yards yesterday. Adams had 9 for 109, and then he even caught a touchdown. Like, this is what Jets fans were expecting this year with the Aaron Rodgers effect, but unfortunately, it means nothing now. We're 3-10. We officially got eliminated. We have the longest playoff drought in all of sports, 14 straight years, but listen, they need to make some moves. I don't know if it's with the quarterback or finding a great head coach and a good GM. All I know is they have some shit to do.
Well, if we're talking about quarterbacks, we have to talk about the best game yesterday on Sunday. My Rams versus the Bills.
Your Rams?
Your
Rams? You said you're a football fan because Aaron Donald retired.
When a winner is a winner, you rock winners.
Listen, I literally asked you about your Rams, and you said, man, I'm a football fan because Aaron Donald's retired.
Hey, man, with Matthew, a.k.a.
Am I wrong? Does he not say that?
Listen.
Trying to fucking make himself look innocent. Fuck out of here.
Hey, we looked good yesterday. I can say that. We look good.
Yeah, this is my first time hearing you about the Rams the whole entire fucking year.
But nah, talking about yesterday, man, that was a crazy shootout.
Crazy-ass game.
Bruh. The Rams were up, I believe, 24-10 at the end of the first quarter, and it just went straight up high scoring throughout the game, bro. Like, Josh Allen, 6 touchdowns. Bro, I don't even know what to say, man. Like, it was crazy.
I think I saw today on ESPN that the last player in NFL history to have 3 passing TDs and 3 rushing in the same game was Otto Graham in 1954.
Wow. I thought it was nobody, but that explains a lot. It was 70 years ago, right?
Yeah, 70 years ago. Oh, my gosh. Listen, it was such a great – the final score was 44-42 Rams. But listen, even though settle down over there. Listen,
Fuck.
I don't know. You guys are probably going to agree with me, but I'm going to say this right now.
I know what you're gonna say. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Even though Josh Allen lost yesterday, I think he is the clear candidate for MVP.
I hate you, but I have to agree.
I disagree, bro. Still Lamar Jackson.
No, bro, I'm sorry. I can't say Lamar Jackson.
All right, let me hear your take. What's your reason why?
Listen, Buffalo had no expectations this year. Nobody thought that Buffalo was going to be good this year. Going on with all their losses in free agency on the defensive side of the ball, and then trading their star wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, to the Texans, losing Gabe Davis. Think about it. Their wide receivers right now is Keon Coleman, a rookie, Khalil Shakir, who had a decent year last year, and he had a nice playoff game against Kansas City.
He's balling out this year.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And then, what's the name of that guy who doesn't wear a shoe? Oh, Matt Collins.
I know Max maintenance challenge on TikTok.
Think about it, bro. Josh Allen, and then you can't forget about their star running back, James Cook, who's just amazing. But nobody had expectations for this. And look at this. Through 13 games, they're 10-3. But look at these stats yesterday from Josh Allen. He threw for 342 passing yards, 3 TDs, and 0 picks. And and this isn't even the best part. Freaking rushing. He had 10 carries for 82 yards and 3 TDs. Like, this game was a freaking shootout. And listen, I think after this, he clearly shows that he should be the MVP. And it also showed yesterday that Matthew Stafford still has a little bit of stuff in him. Listen, man.
Not a little bit, bro.
No, he's still got some stuff in him.
I'm going to be honest.
Puka Nacua, man. Listen, that dude's a dog.
McVay. Yo, he's really good at drafting, bro. Oh, my gosh, bro.
Look at this. Look at this. 12 receptions, 162 yards, and a TD for Nacua. And then he had a couple of rushes. And the Cooper Kupp, their star wide receiver, 5 receptions, 92 yards, and then he also caught a touchdown. But listen, the Rams, man, they are a sleeper in the NFC.
You think so?
Like Matthew Stafford, I know he's not as old as Rodgers, but listen, I know he's old, but you can't turn out Matthew Stafford. I don't care what anything going. Sean McVay, you gotta have trust in this dude. Sean McVay's a genius,
bro. Look at his tree from the Vikings head coach. What's his name?
Kevin O'Connell.
It was the commander staff from 2013, right? Talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking
about McVay's coaching
his
tree.
Own tree? Yeah,
his
tree.
Yeah. McConnell, Bengals,
Taylor. That guy Raheem Morris, the guy for the head coach for the Falcons. He was the defensive.
He was actually in Washington too. That that Washington staff they had.
He was the defensive coordinator for the Rams when they won the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
McVay got a crazy coaching staff already in the league, bro. It's insane.
But listen, Josh Allen, he may have had 6 touchdowns, but next week he's got to do it again. He's going to Detroit.
Ooh.
Detroit is the best team in football right now. You got to play that way to beat Detroit. Because guess what? You beat Detroit on the road, forget about it. You are going to be. Not only going to be Super Bowl contenders, they might as well just hand you the freaking trophy right on the field, whether if you win or lose.
That pains me to say stop.
I know. It pains me. Listen, Eddie, it pains me too. I'm a damn Jeff fan.
No, but you guys, okay, but he doesn't own you like he owns the Dolphins.
Yes, he does. He owns us. Well, like, he doesn't own us as much as he does the Dolphins.
Yeah, the
but
Dolphins get smacked around like a damn
I know,
rag
dude. You know what's
doll.
crazy? I can recite both games that the Dolphins won. Okay? I can recite both games that they beat Josh Allen, and that's fucking sad. Because it doesn't happen at all. At all, dude. I want to... Fuck Josh Allen, okay? Let me say something.
I like that. Yo, bring that
Yo,
energy.
Mikey might be watching, bro.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. Let me tell you something real quick. Listen, I am a hater of Josh Allen just because he owns the Dolphins. Listen, he's a great player. I'll admit it.
Listen, I don't blame you.
Like, it happens. I'm going to say fuck him because, number one, he's the king of a city. Number two, he's one of the best quarterbacks. Clear, I think he's on a path for MVP. I agree with that statement as well. On a chance of winning a ring. Just got engaged to Haley Steinfeld and runs over dudes for a living making $50 million a year. Fuck you. I watch your life. Fuck you. That's also pity talk.
And now before Aaron
I had to get that out. I had to get it out, dude.
And now before Aaron talks, I just have a question for the both of us. Aaron, you say Lamar Jackson's your MVP pick, right?
Yes. The reason why I say that he's my MVP pick because he doesn't fall in for these trap games. I put that in the notes. This is a trap game for the Bills, and what happened? They got trapped and took a fat ass L to the damn Rams.
But listen, think about it. If Puka Nacua doesn't score that late touchdown, you never know. Josh Allen could probably go down the field and either win the game or send up. But here's the thing. I get why you're saying Lamar Jackson because he is having a stellar year. Great year. But look at the difference. Buffalo is 10-3 right now. Baltimore is 8-5.
You want to go back early in the season? Who took that in that game between the two? The Ravens won.
Yeah, Derrick Henry won.
No, Derrick Henry.
The Ravens won.
No, at the beginning of the year, freaking Lamar Jackson, dude, it was Derrick Henry. Mark Andrews wasn't being used enough as he is right now. It was basically that's why you brought Derrick Henry in to run the football because last year that was Baltimore's problem against the Kansas City Chiefs. They threw too much. They needed to run the damn ball more. But listen.
So is what you're saying? I understand the Ravens' identity is that they run the ball, but you're saying when it comes down when they have to throw the ball, can they not rely on Lamar to do it?
No. I trust Lamar.
Okay,
he can do it, but
I'm not like assuming. I'm asking that genuine question.
No, I trust Lamar to throw the ball, but you got to know the times when you need to throw the ball and then when you need to run the ball. That's why you brought Derrick Henry in. Derrick Henry's having a stellar ass year. I know you Cowboy fans are probably like killing yourself right now because your owner didn't want to sign him, but it's whatever. But listen, he's having a great year. And look, it's the year of the running backs right now. You got Derrick Henry going off. You got Saquon friggin' who's proving his case for MVP this year. Yeah. Giants fans, I'm sorry. But freaking...
Not one bit. Not one bit. I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
You got 5 years to build around him. I'm not
yeah.
Sorry.
No, but
I know you're kidding, but I was still not saying that as a joke.
Yeah, I was saying that so hard. I'm so serious.
John Mara, I don't know what the hell. John Mara and Joe Shane, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking, paying Daniel Jones, but whatever. But listen, Aaron, I would have to say, from my perspective and Eddie's perspective, your take on Lamar Jackson being the MVP is wrong.
Hey, man, the only reason I say this a lot, man.
Do you agree with me, Eddie?
Listen. The thing about Lamar Jackson, right? It's a black on black kind of thing. You know what I mean? Black on black crime. You know what I mean? When you pull up to Baltimore, you know what they say? Jiggly, buggly, tit. You hear me? Because I am a black.
What part of Baltimore did you go to? Because I never heard that.
You never heard that?
I went to Camden, brother. I didn't hear that.
Nah. They be like this. It's a funny saying. They be like, Jiggly, you're buggly, tit. You hear me? Shoot, man. Nah, I love Lamar Jackson, bro. I've been rocking with Lamar Jackson, bro, for like 3 years, man. Big trust, L Boogie, bro. And that'll never die.
Mark Ingram?
Exactly.
Big trust.
Big trust. You already know, man. Nah, Lamar Jackson, bro, he's just different, bro. Every time I see him make it's just different for me, bro. That's the reason why, man. But I respect everybody's opinions. Screw Josh Allen, because you know why? We from New York, and I'm not talking about upstate New York. We from Long Island, so
we
know
from
how
Long Island.
Yeah.
Like I told you, like it pains me to my heart, the same as Eddie, to be talking about Josh Allen being the MVP, because as a Jets fan, division rivals along as the Dolphins as well, but freaking... It pains me to my heart, but freaking look. But listen, even though we hate him, you can't ignore his game. He's having a stellar year when nobody thought that they were going to even be this good this year.
No, of course. You got to respect greatness when greatness is
I respect him as a I respect his game, but as a player, as a Jet fan, I don't like him. Mikey, if you're watching this, fuck you.
But yo, this is a question I've been asking myself in my head for like the past 3 weeks. How in the hell are the Vikings, I believe, 11-2
Don't even
now?
get me started, bro.
How?
How? I watch a lot of Vikings games.
Okay, cool.
I have Jettas in one of my leagues for fantasy, and I had to tune into that, obviously. But this system cannot benefit Sam Darnold more. I'm not calling Sam a system guy because he think he has a ton of talent that just was never utilized. The Vikings attack the middle of the field a lot. A lot of in-breaking deep routes to Jettas over the middle of the field. It's the route concepts that O'Connell addresses up is nuts because you finally drafted Addison, who's developing into that long threat, like a Jameson Williams type guy, to go downfield, take the safeties, open up Jettas in a one-on-one. He's gonna beat any linebacker. Really, Jettas gonna beat any corner in the league. Matter of fact, and it's working. You're getting chunk plays there. You're getting Darnold out in space too. You know, similar to what we see Goff being comfortable in Detroit. I keep comparing the two because it's just high-profile offenses. On top of that, and again, the way we just shouted out Josh, there's another guy I got to shout out now that I don't like, but Brian Flores, what they have done on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, listen, this is a defense that has struggled for quite some time. Even even at the end of Zimmer's days even though he's the defensive mind.
Yeah, and so I don't mean to cut you
No,
off.
you're good.
For me, I'm a defensive guy.
Yeah.
I was watching maybe 3 or 4 games in the beginning of the season. They know how to mix up these coverages, know how to disguise
I
it
know.
so damn well.
Flores
bro.
loves to run this NASCAR concept.
Dude.
He'll make 8-9 guys stand up on the line of
And-
scrimmage,
and-
and you have no idea who's dropping back, who's coming.
Like, I
Someone else can come
remember-
out from the secondary. You have no idea.
I forgot what game it was. The linebacker dropped back. He turned into a pick six,
Van-
bro.
I think
It was against the
It
Jets.
was
It was
against
Van
the Jets.
Ginkel. I think it was Van Ginkel. That's my guy. I hate you, Chris Griffin, letting Van Ginkel go
But
too. by the
yeah,
way.
bro, he is so damn good, bro.
He's a psychopath. He'll run the most insane coverages in passing downs that. And let me say that. And like a 3rd and 15, you're not supposed to really blitz. He'll send guys on 3rd and 15. He does not care. And a lot of the guys that they brought in are because of Flores. He put a word in. Flores drafted Van Ginkel when no one really had him on our draft board. He was a 5th round guy. Literally, the guy looked like you picked him off at the couch. It's like you're home to play football. Like the guy looked nothing like a football player. Brought him in, developed him, fits his scheme really well. You see him thriving. Jonathan Grenard, another guy there. I mean, it's system that is just thriving on both sides of the ball, and it's perfect. And that's exactly how a team should be run. The GM comes down, goes, "Hey, listen, what do you guys need?" And you have, as long as you have good eyes, you go, "Listen, I need a smart edge rusher that's athletic enough to drop in the coverage." Boom. Okay, we'll go get this guy for a budget price compared to the edge rusher market. It's how it works. The Vikings have found a key here. I'm very curious to see what they do at quarterback because Darnold did get his money after the year's over. I don't. He's not going to go back, but JJ just got a second surgery about a couple weeks ago. I don't know how much ready he's going to be. You're going to go get a vet.
that's going to be a huge question.
You're
going
going to go get a vet. I'm curious to see who they bring in and if they have a similar success with it. Because if so, shout out Kevin O'Connell, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I do want to highlight that contract situation because there's 2 quarterbacks that's gonna be up for the big money: Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold. What's your thoughts on that, Chris?
Listen, it's going to be – this is a really hot topic because both of these quarterbacks – well, Darnold this year has proven that he deserves his money, and Brock Purdy over these last couple years has proved that he deserves his money because, look, this dude was the last pick in the NFL draft, and he took the 49ers to NFC Championship games. Unfortunately, one of them he did get hurt against Philadelphia a couple years ago. And then just last year, he overcame a deficit at halftime to the Detroit Lions, where the Detroit Lions were literally 2 quarters away from going to the Super Bowl. Like that, I know you guys remember that NFC Championship game last year, Detroit against San Francisco. That game was crazy. And I remember even George Kittle said, like, at halftime, he's like, I can't wait to hold out the trophy and be like, they had us in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to step in for a sec. Brock's going back to San Francisco.
No, Brock's not leaving San Francisco.
As much as I think any quarterback can play in Shanahan's system, Brock's a great game manager. I hate calling guys system quarterbacks. I think Brock's a fantastic game manager and manages that offense really well. But you're going to bring him back. $60 million. The Niners got to get rid of some guys this year. Debo is a guy that I think is going to go.
Listen,
yeah,
they got some pieces, bro, around them that getting all that money. Debo, Kittle, Williams, Brandon Ayuk,
Fred
that's
Warner.
coming off.
well,
Fred Warner.
Ayuk just got paid. He's not going to go nowhere.
Bosa got paid.
Debo's
bro.
gonna go. Who else? Who's the guy? Dre Greenlaw's a guy that's coming off injury. You might let him go. Charvarius Ward. I mean, I hate to talk bad. He just had a really tragedy happen to his family. But and then the business aspect is a guy that he might be gone because they have an emergence of Diamador Lenore, Renardo Green, so rookie out of Florida State. I really love in the scouting process.
Yeah.
There's guys that they're going to be caught some major names to give Brock his. And I wonder how it's going to set them back or not.
You also got to take this into account. They live in California, so the state taxes over there. He gonna want the 60.
He's gonna want the record. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like they gonna have to make some big budget cuts going into this offseason.
But listen, can we, speaking of Sam Darnold,
Yeah.
can we give props to Sam Darnold yesterday, bro, in the Minnesota Vikings?
Absolutely.
Look at this. He was 22 for 28 yesterday. He threw for 347 passing yards. And check this out. 5 TDs to 0 interceptions yesterday. And think about it. They set up this system with Kevin O'Connell perfectly. You got Sam Darnold, who's having an upcoming year. You brought in a running back like Aaron Jones, who's having a good year, which I'm surprised that Green Bay let him go. Well, I understand why, because it was either him or Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs is way better.
That's a budget cut right there.
That was straight budget
And
cut
then-
right there, bro. Straight up.
and then-
Because I'm sorry. I was mad when I see him left because literally I'm like, that's my dude. Like,
No,
no bullshit.
That's your name, brother.
That's
Bro,
your name.
Yo, I literally DM him and his brother like, yo, let me get a jersey, man. Let me get a signed jersey. I just need one signed jersey, Aaron Jones, please, bro. We got the same damn name, not the same father or mother, but the same name, bro.
But think about, and then get to this. We talk about the quarterback and the running back. Dude, check out these receiving stats. Jordan Addison, second year man, 8 receptions, 133 yards, and he had 3 TDs. Justin Jefferson had 7 receptions, 132 yards, and 2 TDs. And I'm pretty sure the other day I heard when Jefferson caught his first touchdown, it was his first touchdown since October. Yeah. So think about it. The Vikings are winning games when their number 1 wide receiver is not even catching TD passes because they don't just need him. They got Jordan Addison, who's going on a tear this year. And I'm not even going to lie, I was kind of worried about him this year because I know he had that little incident during the offseason where I thought he was going to get suspended. But, and then look at this. Then you got TJ Hawkinson coming back, who a couple of years ago, before all of his injuries, this dude was good on Detroit. And then when he came over to Minnesota, he was doing good too. But this season, listen, I'm happy for Sam Darnold. As a Jets fan, I will even admit it. We ruined him. We started him way too early, but we had no choice. We had no quarterback back then when we drafted him. But look, props to Sam Darnold. I'm happy for you. You're definitely going to get paid, but I don't think he's going to be in Minnesota next year. I think he's going to be going to a different team. But as a Vikings fan, you need to be worried about J.J. McCarthy. Those, like Eddie said, those 2 surgeries, that's going to be crucial going into training camp next year.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you say he's going to go to a different team. What team do you think he's going to go to? That's my question. What you got?
You already know Mark Davis in Vegas is absolutely licking his chops right now.
Well, that's unless they don't draft a...
No. Hear me. I know what you're saying because, like, top draft pick. There's a guy. I get it. But I really don't think a team will commit, like, a Geno or a Baker contract to Donald. I don't know if a team fits that criteria right now. I mean, unless I'm not thinking of one on top of my head properly, but, is Tennessee a team that's going to end up doing that? Because, like, we know, I don't think Levis is really the guy there.
I know, but I feel like that with Darnold now, especially feeling the tasting of winning this year, he's going to want to go to a team that can actually win. Tennessee, they have no goddamn future.
No, I get that, but I don't think there's a team out there. It's like, hey,
that's going to give him a lot of money.
I think he's a guy that's going to set up like a 1 for 30, 35, and I think that if Vegas... I don't think any quarterback in this draft can start right away. Shador and Cam definitely got to sit a little bit.
Yeah.
This is a perfect bridge guy to bring in. You're going to pay him a pretty penny, I think. I just don't see a team. Again, I could be just not thinking properly, but it's... If there's a team that's gonna offer me, like maybe Tennessee, I don't know. I really don't think. I don't think so.
But for real, shout out to Sam Darnold, man. Real talk. I miss, friggin'. I got your Jet jersey at home. Friggin' hurts my heart, but I'm glad to see that you're actually doing good.
That's a fact, though. Quick fantasy talk highlight. Let's highlight some dudes from Player of the Week. We got on the AFC side, obviously, Josh Allen went crazy. 342 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 82 rushing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. He killed me out the damn playoffs, literally.
Sorry, Aaron.
I couldn't even, like,
you, man.
Along
with him and then all my Detroit Lions players, forget about it.
Freaking Jeffrey, he's like, bro, what you mean you gonna stop talking shit? I'm like, you right.
He told me that.
I'm like, you right. Why am I not, bro?
Jeffrey,
I'm dying on the hill.
Camera right now, Jeffrey, you better calm it down, because guess what? You talk shit to me and you lost $40 to me.
So he made it back up, by the
way. Yeah.
Why? He made a bet with one of the family members.
Bro. February 13th. I've been saying that to him this whole time, bro. I'm like, do not do it, bro.
I told Jeffrey, and I also told you, I guarantee you, somehow Luka's going to be out.
Yeah, and then also on the NFC side, Play of the Week, you got my dude, Puka Nacua, you know what I mean?
Your dude?
Yeah, my dude for the week until no. My dude for the week until they lose again, then I don't care. You know what I mean? Keep it a buck.
Yeah, we already know you. They're gonna lose next week, and you're gonna be like, whatever.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Okay. like Earl Sweatshirt. Y'all know Earl Sweatshirt shirt? I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
All your purchase coming out tonight, man.
Yeah, right.
Man, I never seen this part of it.
But we got Puka Nacua for the NFC side, 12 receptions, 162 yards, a touchdown, 5 carries on the ground, 16 rushing yards, and another tutty. But bro, you know what I want to get into next, man? Because you know the playoffs is coming soon, bro. We only a few weeks away, man. How y'all feeling, bro? Let me pull up the playoff picture real quick right now on ESPN. So far right now on ESPN we have here it is right now. On the AFC side, you got the Chiefs that just clinched the division. You got the Bills, you got the Steelers, the Texans, Ravens, Chargers, and then the Broncos, and you have the Colts, and you have the Miami Dolphins right there at 8 and 9.
And the Broncos so far the Broncos have the last wild card spot, right?
Yup, right now.
Yep.
Listen,
Colts, excuse me. Colts and the Dolphins are 2 games behind them.
Listen, the AFC is those wild card spots are gonna be crazy, but freaking like Denver being in the playoffs this year is actually crazy because I never thought that they because you got Sean Payton now in his second year. You lost freaking Russell Wilson, and you're starting a rookie quarterback named Bo Nix. And listen, I did not have any expectations for the Broncos, but after watching them, Bo Nix has been actually balling lately. And like Eddie brought up, just a few segments ago, freaking their defense has actually been playing really good this year.
Oh,
like
God. That defense is the only reason why the last couple of years they've been relevant in games.
I know, but like I can't. I know. Shout out to the Denver Broncos defense. They've been doing really good.
You believe it or not, Vance Joseph got fired from as a head coach and went back as their DC a couple years later. I mean, that couldn't be me, but that couldn't be me personally. Like, you fired me, I don't want to come back for you. But no, seriously, you know what I want to look at about the playoffs? I just want to throw in a quick thing here. I'm on NFL.com, and it shows you who it's eliminated. And I go to the NFC side. The only team eliminated on the NFC is the Giants. Why the Carolina Panthers still got a chance?
I know. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I was dead looking at that too. I'm like, how in the hell? I'm like, how
the Jets got eliminated before the Panthers,
I was
bro.
gonna say that. How did the Panthers still got an opportunity before the damn Jets, and they got a damn Pro Bowl and superstar quarterback?
Listen, we're gonna be talking. Listen, those Panthers, man. I don't know what's going on this year. But freaking 2 of the last 3 weeks, they took 2 of the best teams at football, and they lost by so little score. They lost to Kansas City by 3 points, and then just yesterday, they lost by 6 to the Philadelphia Eagles. And if that guy on the freaking Panthers does not drop the ball in the end zone,
that's my Cowboy.
Freaking
Xavier Legay.
Guys, but think about it. If that guy doesn't drop it, we could be potentially talking about how the Eagles defense, who I remember fantasy-wise was ranked the number 1 defense this week because they were playing, because Carolina is not that good. Who the fuck did they have?
Hold on. You know, I'm going to put this in more perspective. Carolina, they're 3-10.
Yeah.
They lost Kansas City by 3. They lost to Tampa because Chuba fumbled against Tampa in the red zone. And then Legette drops a touchdown. They are 3 crucial plays away from being 6-7 with a chance and being right neck and neck with the Rams the first spot out.
Not good, and their division's not good.
No, because right now who's leading the division? Tampa's 7-6. Tampa will also be 6-7 in that case too. So they could be tied for that division in the lead potentially as well.
It's just like Tom Brady's last year in Tampa when it literally went down to the final week between them and Carolina.
All I'm gonna say I'll end it like this. Shout out Bryce Young. I always believed in you. I'm so proud of you, dude. I don't know what Rod Wave said to him either though, but he's gotta talk to me next. I can't lie.
But no, friggin'.
Huh?
But the NFC, you already know that the top 2 teams in the NFC is Detroit and the Eagles.
My question for that is, what team from the bottom feeders have an opportunity to beat the damn Eagles?
Like they're in the wild card?
Yeah, in the wild
to beat
card.
the Eagles.
What team? So we have
to beat the Eagles right now.
Yeah, right now you got the Commanders at 7, the Rams at 8, and you got Atlanta at 9. Out of those 3 teams, who do you guys think that could?
Out of those 3, okay.
My opinion.
I'm gonna chime in quickly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Washington.
Okay.
Listen, we've seen what Saquon did to the Rams. There's a lot.
If you're a Rams fan, you don't want to see that shit again.
Well, that's the thing. The Rams got a game plan to stack the box, and the Eagles will run play action on you. They're gonna run RPO. The box is gonna be tricked up. Atlanta, dude, let me tell you something. They lost 4 in a row. Kirk Cousins doesn't throw a touchdown since they beat the Cowboys. I think week 9. He's thrown about 8 picks in that time span as well.
Oh, Jane.
Kirk Cousins.
Damn.
He's been terrible as of recent.
They're 6-7 right now.
Yeah, Washington's a team that, listen, they're scary because who's got at the helm. That defense is playing a lot better. I mean, the Eagles' defense
think about it. Marshawn Lattimore hasn't even played a game yet.
I forgot. And I forgot about it. That and it's a divisional game in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's
hold
actually, I believe he's actually activated going.
Which
into
is
He's
actually,
playing.
which
He's playing.
I,
Yep.
in my opinion, Marshawn Lattimore to the Commanders was a great move because you got Dan Quinn, who former defensive coordinator. He knows his defense very goddamn well. But listen, I have to agree with Eddie. I'm gonna have to say the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels is that dude, bro. Like, he is having a great year, and you already know that the rookie of the year.
It's Brock Bowers. Keep going.
Settle down. Listen, if we were talking about quarterback wise, because you already know, like, because quarterback always fucking wins like all the awards, it would be down to Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels right now. But Jaden Daniels, man, he's had his moments this year. I'll never forget when he went down to Cincinnati on freaking Monday Night Football and he kicked the shit out of him. Like, and he's got all these good he's got a decent O-line. He's got two good running backs in Eckler and Brian Robinson. He's got Scary Terry. Freaking, they got an old tight end in Zach Ertz, which I'm surprised he's still playing. And their defense is really damn good this year. I'm not even gonna lie. So I could see the Commanders fighting with the Eagles. Do I see them like potentially? Do I see them like actually beating them? No. But do I see it could be like a close game? Kind of. We'll just have to see. But I have really true faith in the Commanders. Like, looking on NFL.com right now, their playoff probability right now is 79%. And think about it. Before the Eagles went on their big winning streak, the Commanders were number one in the NFC East. Like, think about that. They were number one in the AFC East. In the NFC East, I'm sorry. And freaking, this team last year had one of the worst records in football. Like, it's just amazing. Like, and shout out to the new owner, man. He completely changed the whole car. Dan Schneider, you were the fucking biggest problem of that whole entire.
Settle down, bro.
Bro, their culture was horrible.
Jeez Louise.
But listen, man, you gotta give them props, man.
Nah, I do give them props, but remember, bro, we are from New York, bro. Fuck the Commanders and fuck the Eagles. We're from New York.
Hold on, you're forgetting.
There will be no dissing the Commanders,
bro. We're
on
from
my
New
watch.
York,
Listen, man, you can't just. But listen,
My
you're
former
forgetting
employers
about
right there,
one
please.
important thing that you're saying. Fuck them.
Oh.
Fuck Boston.
Oh wait, no, you forgot one more. Fuck the Cowboys. Straight up.
Yeah, how about them fucking Cowboys? They're playing tonight. I hope Joe Burrow fucking kills y'all. Joe Shiesty.
Shiesty season. But yo, man, let's get in some games, man. Let's start with start, bench, cut. Yo, who wants to roll in it? Eddie or Chris, who wants to roll in it?
I got you. Yeah, we'll start a little start bench cut. I mean, I'm sure you guys seen us on social media before, but we're gonna roll in 5 different position groups here in the NBA. You know, point guard, shooting guard, small forward, etc. How it is. We're gonna have 3 names here. Try to mix it up between some young guys together in the league that are going to take over the league soon. Some of the older guys that you're growing up on. Some guys that your parents grew up on. You'll see. We'll get into it. Just decide. Based off their accolades, their stats, start, bench, cut. Let me roll it out to you guys. We'll start with some point guards right here. I know we got some big ball knowers over here. First 3 names here. You got some Jalen Brunson, SGA, and Trae Young. Aaron, let me hear your thoughts on these top 3 right here. What are you thinking?
For me, because I'm not even going to lie, Trae Young has been cooking. He definitely has been cooking. You can't deny that. I know I'm from New York, but we cannot be biased. So for me, I'm starting Shea, obviously, because he's the best out of the 3. I'm cutting Brunson, bro.
What?
You know why? It's crazy to say. Trae Young actually has led the Hawks into an actual pretty good playoff contender team. I know it's early in the NBA, but he has led that team into something different.
Listen, I get what you're saying, but I think the obvious thing is you start Shea because Shea drops 30 points in his goddamn sleep. This dude is unstoppable. Like, I don't know where the hell all this shit came from with him, but keep doing your thing, bro. Freaking benching? I'm benching Jalen Brunson. I'm cutting Trae Young.
Oh, man.
Because, listen.
You don't get Knicks fans angry, bro. You don't want to do that.
Listen, Jalen Brunson, when he came out of college, out of Villanova, like, he got drafted to Dallas. Like, no one really, like, they knew that he was going to be a good player, but, like, he really wasn't as good as the beginning of the year. The only time that he really came out as a good player was his last year in Dallas when it was his contract year. Like, on that little run that that Dallas had to the Western Conference Finals. And then these last couple of years in New York, I know Knicks fans are freaking loving it because, let's be honest, you guys haven't had a point guard since Walt Frazier. And Trae Young, listen, man. Trae Young's a damn good player, but it's always just him. Like, he can never get the people around him to help. Like, last year, they had a 2-year experiment with him and DeJounte Murray. That shit didn't work out. And I believe that the one good year that he had in his NBA career was the year that he went to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Milwaukee Bucks, and they lost 4-1.
Yeah, should have been Brooklyn.
I know. Listen, Eddie, I wanted Brooklyn too.
Yo, Chris,
New York.
I want you to roll in the next one because I already know you're going to be biased on this one. I can't
Listen.
even let you do yeah.
All right, here we
Yeah.
go. So the next position that we got is shooting guard. The first guy that we have is my favorite player of all time, Miami Heat legend Dwayne Wade. Number 2, you can't forget about AI. We talk about practice here. Listen, AI, one of the best ball handlers of all time in the NBA. Great guy. And then for the last one, Nick fans, you're not going to like this name, Mr. Reggie Miller. Aaron, who you starting, who you benching, and who you cutting?
For me, bro, I'm gonna keep
And be careful what you say.
Oh, I'm gonna say what I'm feeling, cause I don't care. So for me, for shooting guards, dang, it's actually tough. I ain't gonna lie, cause the reason why it's tough, bro, I used to play basketball a lot growing up as a kid, and I thought I was Allen Iverson or like MJ or Kobe, cause like you from New York, all I did was watch A1 mixtapes, bro, like Hot Sauce and all them dudes. So I'm starting Allen Iverson, bro, right?
Fair.
And I ain't going cap, bro. I'm benching Reggie Miller, bro. And you know why? Cause me and D-Wade got one thing alike. We have one thing in common.
And what?
Bad knees.
No, that's you. No, that's you and Kawhi Leonard, you motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Yo, bro, Reggie Miller is a good player, but bro, like, he did not have the career of the fucking Dwayne Wade, bro. Like, Dwayne Wade won fucking 3 rings.
Hey, bro, Dwayne Wade had LeBron James. You know who Reggie Miller had? Ron Artest. That crazy son of a bitch.
Fucking mouse at
That
the
was
palace.
yo.
Yeah,
I need another one of those.
Yeah,
All right.
It's been too
how about
long.
you, Eddie?
All
What
right,
you
so
got?
we got your,
Yeah.
we got you. So Eddie, who are you starting, benching, and cutting for shooting guards?
Man, it is tough. I had my clear cut guy, as controversial as that's gonna sound. I think the way we have it on this doc is the way I'm gonna leave it. I'm actually gonna start D-Wade. You know, listen,
Sir.
not to make you happy.
I know.
Not to make you happy.
God.
I think his skill set translates to any portion of the NBA in generations. Like I said, the guy's got 3 rings. His shooting improved throughout the years. I mean, yeah, it speaks for itself. When I was growing up and Harden was on his tear in Houston, there was always this debate if MJ is the best shooting guard ever, and then Kobe's too. There's always that third option. It was always Wade. And it's like, all right, it's Harden passing him. And I kind of researched a little bit, and like accolades-wise, stats-wise, I'm going to take Wade over Iverson. But I'm going to bench Iverson. Solely based off, again, skill set-wise. Second best ball handler of all time behind Kyrie, in my opinion. Could lead a team to where they need to be. He did it all throughout. Like, who do you, speaking of guys we had, who do you have in Philly? I mean, you get Dikembe.
He had oldest Dikembe Mutombo. He had freaking who else?
Oh my god, it pissed me off. As a guy, there's a shooting guard he had. No, not shooting. A point guard he had. I don't know. It wasn't. If we can't remember, I don't even know.
But no, that's the only thing. Like, that year, Allen Iverson literally led them to the playoffs. He was dropping like 30 bombs all over the place. And I remember Stephen A. Smith at the time, who covered Philadelphia at that time.
My God,
and when they played the Lakers, he literally said that AI is going to get you 1, but you're not going to get swept because AI is going to give you a game. And look, he did give you a game. And we all know the iconic moment, the crossover step back shot over Ty Lue, and then stepping over him in game 1. But unfortunately, they lost 4 straight games.
Facts. And the next one that we're going to bring into is small forwards. And this is some old school vibes. You know what I mean? We got Scottie Pippen, Dr. J, Dominique Wilkins.
God, dude.
Chris, you're first.
I'm not even going to lie, bro. I might have to go the same way as Eddie, like he did for shooting guards. I might have to keep it.
Wow.
Because listen, man, I know the talk about Scottie Pippen is like, oh, if he didn't have Michael Jordan, he would have never had 6 rings. But think about it. Even though Michael Jordan is one of the greatest players of all time, you need to admit, on those Bulls runs, Scottie Pippen really did help. With his defense, his rebounding, his driving to the basket, he really did help Michael Jordan. I mean, hell, look at the flu game. Scottie Pippen was with him the whole entire time. He was amping him up, telling him, let's go. You got this. I don't care if you're sick. You're one of the greatest. You got this. Dr. J, freaking, man, we all remember the freaking his little layup, the little jelly. Freaking back then. That shit was nasty back in the day. Dude, Dr. J, he's one of my favorite. I love watching old videos of him dunking, bro. That dude could freaking fly. And then Dominique Wilkins, listen, the only thing he was known for was literally dunking.
Knock it off. I don't want no knee slander while I'm sitting next to you.
No, but he was a damn good player.
I'm agreeing with Eddie because I actually was watching a podcast, right, with Dominique. Bro, he consistently went bucket for bucket with all the top guys. MJ,
No, like, he
Bird,
fought with
Magic.
everybody, but I'm just saying, like,
bruh.
but he could never get it done. He couldn't get it done because, like, the teams around him weren't as. He didn't have the teams that, like, Michael Jordan and freaking and like Dr. J had, like when he won his rings in Philly.
I gotta chime in.
What's up?
After hearing that Neek thing real quick. Dominic, I'm not cutting you, brother. I promise. You know, I don't know if you're ever gonna tune in, but just let you know I'm not cutting you. I'm actually gonna start Dr. J. Talk about a guy whose career aged like wine. Guy up until his final year, he played for about 15 years. His longevity was average 11-20. In an era that the 3-point line was getting introduced. And, you know, Dr. J obviously was the guy who adjusted shooting that late in his career. His athleticism never died out. He's got the accolades behind him. His length. If Dr. J, really, I can't even be honest. If all three of these guys played in this day and age, they are highly valuable players. Their games will translate despite them not having really the shooting skills that these guys have now. But the 3-and-D, the length and the defensive side, oh my God, like unbelievable. I'm going to take Dr. J. I'm going to bench Dominique, and that's just because I think Dr. J's just a better guy. If Dr. J's not on this list, I'm probably starting Neek. Same thing, same skill set. You know, the athleticism was off the charts. Obviously, we see the dunk contest. You know, similar. Again, his teams weren't great. He had a great assist man at Doc, but you know the teams around him weren't built there. And this is not a diss to Scotty. I'm cutting him. It's just that the competition he's surrounded with here. I do think if Scotty wasn't on the Bulls, Jordan does have less rings. Absolutely, I think he's that valuable.
Yeah, that's why I said like it wasn't all just Michael Jordan. Like Scotty helped them a lot.
I just prefer the skill sets of what Dr. J and Dominique showed in their careers as being the guy on their respective teams.
You know what? I'll give you a fair argument. That was actually very fair.
All right, he agreed. Holy shit.
I know, that's beyond crazy.
Shut the fuck up.
I got him.
Roll in the power forwards, and then Chris send it off with the centers. Go ahead, Eddie.
I got you right here. So we're talking about the forwards here, and this is I think this is gonna be a really great topic here, right? Because we got two old schoolers, and we got a guy who's still playing nowadays. So we start with Charles Barkley. I gotta say the next guy's name. That's nuts, man. Karl Malone ended right there, and we got Giannis. I'm gonna come in. Actually, you know what? I'm curious on your thoughts. I feel like this fits, you know, something that you can talk about for a while.
Well,
but,
for me,
yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, I am an old head. I ain't going to cap, bruh. So I like old school shit. And for me, realistically, bro, y'all going to laugh how I say his last name. I ain't going to cap. I'm starting Giannis Antetokounmpo. I say it like Shaq, bro. I don't know how to say it. I can't say that. Literally, I can't say that, bro. I can't say that like Shaq. I cannot say it. Hell no.
Give me the spelling bee for this.
Oh fuck.
Oh my gosh. No, I can't spell it, but yeah, I'm starting Giannis. Bro, I'm sorry. I'm benching Karl Malone, bro.
Okay.
You know why, bro? He is, I believe, he's number 3, bro, in all points of all time. I love Charles Barkley to death. As a commentator, as an analyst, but as a player, you never took it serious enough to make that leap to the next hump. I know you went to the finals with the Suns that one time, but you never. He was number 2 in the league of all time during the 90s. He never was able to get over that hump. Karl Malone, he had him and Jock Stockton battled year after year.
Michael Jordan like twice.
For real, and took them to a length as well, man. So that's my lineup. How about you, Chris?
You know what, Aaron? I'm going to have to agree with you. Because Giannis, man, listen. Giannis is a damn great player. This dude is very athletic. Like, this dude could just take, like, a couple dribbles, pass half court, freaking take, like, a few steps, and he's at the rim. Dude, and listen, that year, the year that he won the NBA Finals, that shit was crazy. It was basically, like, the Suns were beating them 2-0. Like, the Bucks were halfway there to getting swept. But then Giannis went on that tear, and they ended up winning 4 straight games to get the title. And what did he do in that freaking finals game that they won? He dropped a 50 bomb. A 50 bomb.
Man, say that again and look into the camera, bro. What?
Giannis Antetokounmpo dropped a 50 bomb, 5-0, in a game-clinching NBA Finals game. Now, when the hell do you normally hear that? A 50 bomb in the NBA Finals to not just win the game, to win the whole thing, to clinch it on your home court in front of your fans who hadn't won a championship since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson were teammates back in the day. Freaking, he tore it up. He made the Phoenix Suns look like freaking like little dolls. He freaking went through all of them. Nobody on that team could stop him. Like, they had the big guy DeAndre Ayton, couldn't stop him. Freaking anyone else, forget about it.
DeAndre Ayton straight barbecue chicken that whole
Barbecue
series.
chicken alert. And then
Barbecue
Don't worry
chicken.
about it. He was working out after the game.
and then Charles Barkley, I agree with you. I mostly know Charles Barkley for being a commentator because I was born in 2001. By that time, he was.
Sorry. That's disrespectful, brother.
No, but I've seen his highlights. He was a damn good player, and I'm pretty sure even that year that he went to the NBA Finals against Michael Jordan, I'm pretty sure he was the MVP that year. And that pissed off Michael Jordan because he said, "You want the MVP?" He goes, "That's cool, but the most important thing's the ring." And what did Jordan do? He took it from you.